In our book, Goof Proof Health, we cover depression, and I'd like to explain depression on a simple basis to everyone. When the brain's dehydrated, and that means that it's lacking the water and the salt content, then it has to rely more on the amino acid content of the brain, which is critical. And when you're deficient on these amino acids, primarily tryptophan, then a person has what we call their manic depressive or bipolar. It's almost an epidemic of this stuff today. And the main reason for it is people, they're not drinking enough water or taking enough salt and getting enough minerals to keep this balance inside the cell. If it doesn't have the minerals, then it can't hang on to the water. If it can't hang on to the water, then the cell is dehydrated. That's why they give saline in the hospital, an IV of saline, which is hanging right here. And you have to have sugar, even though they tell everybody to stay away from sugar, and they give an IV of dextrose, which is sugar water. You have to have sugar. Basically, everything you eat is converted to sugar. If you don't get enough sugar, then the body converts amino acids. And how you become deficient in amino acids is you have a blood sugar and you have cells in your body burning sugar 24 hours a day to maintain a temperature of 98.6 approximately. And when you burn the sugar, it's the waste from burning the sugar, we call it oxidation, that's neutralized with amino acids from the liver. And when the liver is running low on amino acids, then it has to borrow it from another area, from an organ. If it takes it from the pancreas, then that's primarily what diabetes is, or pancreatic cancer. So the brain has to have amino acids, and the king is tryptophan. Tryptophan and lysine, as I understand it, the two primary amino acids that the brain makes neurotransmitters from. And if the liver is hogging or demanding and pulling them and the brain's not getting them, then you've got depression. If you're properly hydrated, as I understand it in Dr. B's books, the person I studied under, matter of fact, his last book is Obesity, Cancer, and Depression. And what I'm recapping right now is in his book right here, but it's written as a physician and a scientist, so it's a little complicated. That we're not getting quality amino acids today to make the neurotransmitters, because when you take the animal, once you kill the animal, the proteins quit spinning in the bundles and these 9 essential amino acids are lost. There's 22 amino acids, they're the building blocks of the human body. There's 9 essential, 13 non-essential. The non-essential means that the body can make the 13 non-essential from the essential ones, but it's the 9 essential that we're not getting. So it has to be a live kill on the meat, chicken, fish, pork. And when you take a seed, like we'll say a wheat seed, it'll reproduce, but once you mill it open, these proteins quit spinning in the bundles and you're losing these essential amino acids. So that's why we're very amino acid deficient. So you do get amino acids in beans, but they need to soak overnight, 12 hours, and they sprout. And that neutralizes an acid in there called phytic acids that holds all these minerals together. And if you don't neutralize this phytic acid, then you're only utilizing maybe 10% of the minerals, but you're still getting a few of these critical amino acids. So beans, lentils, any seed that reproduces, even green beans are good because it has the little seeds inside. These things reproduce, they contain amino acids. And the standard for the 22 amino acids for the human body are based on chicken eggs, but it has to be raw. The more heat you apply to this egg, the more amino acids you destroy. So the standard for the 22 amino acids for the human body are based on a raw chicken egg. And the FDA says your chances of getting salmonella from a raw egg are about the same chances of you winning the lotto. If you were to go and Google it and look it up on the internet. Same thing with these proteins that quit spinning. You can look this up on the internet and you'll see what I'm saying. So we're very amino acid deficient. And another reason for being super amino acid deficient is if you're doing caffeine, drinking soda, and some of these things that contain a lot of synthetics in them, then the liver has to use up a lot of amino acids to detoxify this stuff, and it makes you short on amino acids. So if the brain doesn't get the amino acids it needs, then you become depressed. Sharing a few stories that I can recollect. Matter of fact, it'll be on our website shortly. There was a musician in New York, and he was having problems sleeping, and he couldn't get up on the stage and play anymore. He was so depressed, and he was asking me for some help, and I told him if he'd do the water and salt and get a balanced meal with the minerals, or take some vitamins, some supplements, and if he takes the raw eggs and bring his tryptophan level back up, the tryptophan and lysine level, that his depression would probably go away, he would sleep better, and he wouldn't have a problem. And sure enough, he started doing it, and he sent me a thank you. Matter of fact, I have the testimonial, I don't have it here. But he went back to work, and he's super happy. Matter of fact, Lena, who you can see on there with her testimonial on diabetes, she is manic depressant, taking an antidepressant. And at the end of 3 weeks, she's sleeping well, she has lots of energy, and her depression is completely gone. So we thank you for your comments and your questions. And there's a lot more on depression in our book, Goof Proof Health. And if you haven't purchased the book yet, we encourage you to push the button there and purchase the book. And if you know anyone that's battling depression, please share this information with them. And from all of us here at Goof Proof Health, thank you.